Alright, here's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to label your paper, put your name on it, and say 1A, 1B. 1A and all the other A problems I'm going to show you how to do, and all the B problems you're going to have to do on your own and turn it into me. So here's the first one. We got two fractions. Luckily they both have the same denominator and they're sevenths. So all we have to do is keep that denominator and do whatever the top tells us to do, which is add, and we are done. Now, for the one you have to do, here's the one that you need to write down on your paper and come up with your own answer. Okay, here's your second problem. You're going to write this one down as well, and I'm going to show you how to do it. So this time, same deal. We have a denominator that's the same, so we're going to keep it. And then we do whatever the math is on the top, which is 3 minus 1, which is 2/4. However, I told you to reduce all your answers if you want full credit. So we can say, alright, these are both even numbers. We can knock them in half, and luckily we are done. Now for the one you have to do, I'm going to give you this one. See what you can do. Okay, next we're going to have an issue because our denominators are no longer the same. So we have to find a common denominator, and the best way to go is the least common denominator. If you can't figure one out that these two numbers go into evenly, one good way to do it is just multiply them together, which will always work. It just may not be your least one, but in this case it is. So, how do I take my 5 and turn it into a 15? I would need to multiply by 3, but I can't just do that to the bottom. I have to do it to the top. So if I do that, I have unreduced that fraction, so I can now turn it into a 15th. I gotta do the same thing over here, except different number. I need to multiply by 5 and balance it out with the 5, so I get 5/15. Now we're back to the questions 1 and 2, where you have the same denominator. Keep it and do what the math says on top, and you are done. So I want you to try this one. 7/2 minus 4/3. Good luck. Alright, next we have another one of these where there's an unlike denominator. So one way to do it is always look at the larger number. Try doubling it. Can this go into it? 14, 5 can't go in. I can go another 7, make it 21. 5 still can't go in. I could go another 7, make it 28. 5 still can't go in. So like I said, you could always try multiplying these together and get a number that will work. So now I got to turn them both into 35ths. How do I do that? Times 5 times 5. That would give you 30. And this one I'm going to go times 7 times 7. That gives you 14. But when I keep the denominator and add these, I get something that I have to see if I could reduce. And one's odd, one's even, so I can't cut them in half. So if I look for a number that goes into both, I'll be stuck there. However, I could say 35 goes into 44 one whole time, and it would leave you 9 extra. Now, your problem is going to be 4/5 plus 5/4. See what you can do. Alright, next, we're going to change the operation to multiplication. So guess what? We don't care what the denominators are. They could be different, same. We don't care. Because when you multiply fractions, you really just multiply across the top and you multiply across the bottom. And if you can reduce it, reduce it. Those are both even numbers. I can knock them in half and walk away. So the one I want you to try looks like this. Now do it up. Alright, last problem I will torture you with. It's another multiplication, but I just want to show you something on this one. When I multiply straight across the top and straight across the bottom, I wind up having to do a bunch of reductions at the end. So I would knock these in half and knock them in half again, and I could stop there, or I could say 1 and 1/2. But another way I could have done this problem from the get-go is anything that's in the top level, your numerator, can reduce with anything in the bottom level, your denominator, as long as you're careful. 4 goes into 4 once, and it goes into 4 once. I can reduce that, and if you look, you would get your answer right away. So it's okay to do that if you're comfortable reducing anything on the top with the bottom. So give it a shot on this one. Good luck. We're done. Get some pizza.